All right, sunshine and baseball. We are diving headfirst into the Roy Hobbs World Series action.
Yeah.
Straight from Fort Myers, Florida.
Love it.
We're focusing on the Legends division. That's 53 and up
Awesome.
from November 8th. You've given me scores and stats.
All right.
Should be fun.
Let's do it.
You're the perfect person to break down these numbers. Not just the what,
Right.
but the why.
Absolutely.
Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm an expert in the Roy Hobbs World Series and baseball in general. I've been following this tournament for years, played in it a couple times, and
Oh, wow.
I'm excited to break it down with you.
Yeah, I'm excited to learn from you, and I'm excited for our listeners to learn from you as well.
Yeah.
So everyone listening, grab your drink, maybe some peanuts,
Oh, yeah.
and let's get into it.
Let's go.
We've got blowouts, nail biters, and some incredible individual performances.
Looking forward to it.
Let's jump right in. Minnesota Twins and the Minnesota Cardinals. The Cardinals took this one 13-2.
Wow. Not even close.
I know. Ouch for the Twins fans out there. That could shake a team's confidence.
Early in a tournament, yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
When you see a score like that, it tells me the Cardinals were hitting up and down the lineup.
Absolutely.
That's a whole team clicking.
And speaking of clicking, Matt Delany went 2 for 4 with an RBI and a stolen base for the Cardinals.
2 for 4, a stolen base.
Making things happen.
That kind of aggressive base running puts pressure on the defense,
For sure.
creates scoring opportunities. I love to see that.
All right, let's move to a game that was a little closer. The Florida Muskrats squeaked by the Chicago Giants 7-5.
Two-run game.
That's baseball.
Every pitch matters, every at-bat.
I know. Every play in the field matters.
Makes you think the managers were really working those bullpens,
Right.
trying to find the right matchups.
Absolutely. Becomes a chess match.
It does.
All right, and speaking of clutch performances, the Muskrats had a player go 2 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs
4 RBIs.
in a close game.
Yeah. Talk about a game changer.
Seriously.
That can swing momentum and lift a whole team.
All right, let's go over to the Oakville Golden A's and the Dayton Angels. The Angels won this one 8-2.
8-2 win. That suggests a strong pitching performance from the Angels.
For sure. Keeping the Golden A's offense in check like that is no easy feat.
It's not, no.
Their player of the game really came up big for them.
You love to see that kind of performance early in the tournament. It sets the tone,
Right.
lets everyone know they're here to compete.
Absolutely. Now, how about a game that went down to the wire? The USVI Hurricanes battled it out with the St. Louis Patriots. The Patriots just barely pulled out a win 7-6.
One-run game.
Oh, that's got to be a heartbreaker.
In the Roy Hobbs World Series, that's tough.
Amada Gutierrez had a solid game for the Hurricanes. 2 for 4 with an RBI and the stolen base. Couldn't quite get them over the hump, though.
You know, a loss like that can really sting.
It can?
But it can also be a motivator. I bet the Hurricanes will be coming out hungry in their next game.
All right, let's move on to a game where one team really brought the lumber. The Puerto Rico Caballeros crushed the HPK Oilers 10-1.
Whoa.
10-1 final. I'd say that's a statement win.
Yeah, the Whalers are going to have to regroup after that one.
For sure. And get this, the Caballeros player of the game had 3 hits, 4 RBIs, and scored 2 runs.
Oh my goodness, doing it all.
Talk about an all-around performance.
Hitting for average, driving in runs.
Creating havoc on the base paths.
Unbelievable.
Okay, let's switch gears to a game that ended in a stalemate. The St. Louis A's and the Nova Scotia Monarchs battled to a 5-5 tie.
A tie game, you don't see that too often.
You really don't. It suggests both pitching staffs were really
And
dealing.
keeping those hitters off balance.
Absolutely. A tie game like that tells me both teams were playing some solid defense.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You don't get the extra innings without making some big plays in the field. Shout out to Dan McQuarrie of the St. Louis A's. He pitched the entire game. 9 innings, 5 strikeouts, only 1 earned run.
Wow, a complete game.
Huh.
In a tie game. That's a gutsy performance.
I bet his arm felt like it was going to fall off.
Oh yeah.
All right, let's head over to another close one. The Minnesota Bandits Red edged out the Maine Black Bears 8-5.
Another nail-biter. It seems like these Legends Division teams really know how to keep things interesting.
They do. This one's got a bit of a head-scratcher, though. Their player of the game actually went 0 for 0 at the plate.
0 for 0.
That's wild.
He must have made some serious contributions on defense or base running to earn that player of the game nod.
Yeah, sometimes those hustle plays are just as important as a big hit.
I agree.
You know what? This is a good time to remind everyone listening.
Yeah.
If you're down in Fort Myers for the Roy Hobbs World Series, you got to make your way over to PDC.
Oh, for sure.
That's where the magic happens.
It is.
Johnny's got the grill fired up, serving up some of the best burgers and hot dogs you'll ever have.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you can check out the team shop, grab some souvenirs.
Love it.
Don't forget to snap some photos with Meg for our Roy Hobbs Dugout page on Facebook. We love seeing all the smiling faces and sharing in the excitement of the tournament. PDC is the place to be. Can't miss it. All right, back to the diamond. We've got another tight one for you. The glory days just couldn't quite catch the Tidewater Drillers, losing 3-2.
Oh, those one-run games can really come back to haunt you.
They can. Tough loss.
But let's give some props to Jeff Laporta of the Drillers. He pitched all 11 innings, giving up only 2 earned runs, striking out 9, and walking only 1.
11 innings.
That's incredible.
That's the kind of performance that legends are made of.
I bet he slept for a week after that one.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Now, remember that nail-biter between the USVI Hurricanes and the St. Louis Patriots? Well, they actually had a doubleheader that day.
Oh, doubleheader. Those guys must be exhausted.
And the Patriots took Game 2 as well, 7-6 final. Looks like they got the Hurricanes number this time around.
That's got to be a tough pill to swallow.
It does. Losing both games of a doubleheader by 1 run.
Talk about a test of mental toughness. Absolutely. Mike Pasqualone really came through for the Patriots in this one. He went 2 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs.
Another big-time performance.
That's what you need in a doubleheader, guys stepping up when it matters most.
For sure.
Let's stick with the Minnesota Bandits Red for a minute.
Yeah.
They had another game that day, and they absolutely demolished the Long Island Patriots 13-5.
Wow. From a close win to a blowout.
I know, right?
That's the kind of offensive explosion that can really send a message to the rest of the tournament.
Absolutely. And their player of the game, 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and 5 RBIs.
2 home runs in 1 game.
That's a day at the office you never forget.
That's right.
All right, now let's check in with the Orlando Brewers, who took down the Chicago Woodpeckers 8-4.
Another offensive showing.
Yeah, you need that kind of firepower to make a deep run in this tournament.
Absolutely.
And Craig Marsden was the hero for the Brewers, going 2 for 3 with a home run and 4 RBIs.
Another guy with a home run and 4 RBIs.
These Legends Division sluggers are making it rain out there.
It's awesome.
Okay, are you ready for a score that's going to make you do a double take?
Hit me.
The Albany Wiz shut out the White Bear Lake Bears 14-0.
14-0.
Someone called the mercy rule.
Wow.
Barry Jackson was the man on the mound for the Wiz. Pitched all 7 innings, giving up only 2 hits and no walks.
It's dominant.
Dominant is an understatement.
That's the kind of pitching performance that can single-handedly win you a game, maybe even a championship.
All right, let's wrap up this first batch of scores with another close one. The Chicago Jacks just barely edged out the Midwest Pirates 9-7.
Another nail-biter.
I know, they just love to keep us on the edge of our seats.
Another net.
And Steve Errol had a phenomenal game for the Jacks, going 4 for 5 with 2 RBIs and a home run.
4 for 5 with a homer.
That's a guy who's seeing the ball like a beach ball.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
All right, that's a wrap for part 1 of our deep dive into the Roy Hobbs World Series Legends Division action from November 8th.
Wow.
We saw everything today. Blowouts, nail-biters,
Yeah.
pitching duels, offensive explosions, and some truly legendary individual performances.
Can't wait for more.
We've got plenty more action to cover, so stay tuned for part 2.
I'll be here.
All right, we're back.
More baseball.
More Roy Hobbs World Series action.
Awesome.
Picking up where we left off, that 13-2 win by the Minnesota Cardinals over the Minnesota Twins,
Yeah.
it really highlights the importance of a deep lineup in a tournament like this.
Oh, for sure. Contributions coming from every spot on the order.
Makes you tough to beat.
Absolutely.
And speaking of tough to beat, the Florida Muskrats had a nail-biter against the Chicago Giants, winning 7-5.
Close games like that can really build character,
Oh, it can.
test their resilience.
Absolutely, and forces you to manage your pitching staff carefully.
Yeah, in a close game, every decision about when to bring in a reliever can make or break you.
It's huge. Speaking of managing a pitching staff, the Dayton Angels had a commanding 8-2 win over the Oakville Golden A's.
Yep.
Makes you wonder what kind of adjustments their pitcher made
Right.
to keep the A's hitters off balance.
Yeah. Did he mix up his pitches?
Did he change his location?
Those are the little things that can make a big difference.
Absolutely.
It's
yeah.
easy to get caught up in the big hits and the high scores.
You're right.
Sometimes it's those subtle adjustments and strategic decisions that win you ball games.
Speaking of subtle adjustments,
Yeah.
let's revisit that 7-6 nail-biter where the St. Louis Patriots edged out the USVI Hurricanes.
Oh, man, a one-run game like that.
Yeah.
Every pitch,
Every swing.
every fielding play just takes on extra significance.
The tension is palpable.
I bet the managers were sweating bullets in the dugout.
Oh, I'm sure they were.
Mm-hmm.
Now let's shift gears to a game that was a little more lopsided. The Puerto Rico Caballeros absolutely dominated the HPK Oilers 10-1.
When a team is clicking like that,
Yeah.
it's like a runaway train.
The hitters are seeing the ball well.
Pitchers throwing strikes.
Fielders are making all the plays.
It's demoralizing for the other team.
Speaking of feeling demoralized, let's look back at that 5-5 tie between the St. Louis A's and the Nova Scotia Monarchs.
Oh yeah, tie game.
A tie game is always interesting, right?
Yes.
Tells me that both teams were evenly matched.
Absolutely.
Neither team could find that extra spark to pull ahead.
Both starting pitchers had a really good day on the mound.
Oh, yeah.
Keeping the hitters guessing.
Limiting the damage.
For sure.
Speaking of good days on the mound, we have to talk about Dan McQuarrie of the A's.
Yeah.
Who pitched all 9 innings in that tie game.
A workhorse.
That's a workhorse.
Pitching a complete game.
Testament to his stamina.
His mental toughness.
And his ability to make adjustments throughout the game.
Shows that he has the trust of his manager.
Absolutely. Let's move on to another intriguing game.
Yeah.
The Minnesota Bandits Red beat the Maine Black Bears 8-5.
Okay.
What's fascinating about this game is that their player of the game didn't even get a hit.
Didn't even get a hit? Wow.
That's a great example of how baseball is more than just hitting stats.
It is.
This player must have made key contributions in other areas, like defense.
Base running, leadership.
Sometimes it's those intangible qualities that make all the difference.
Absolutely. So easy to focus on the guys who are hitting home runs and striking out batters.
You're right.
But every player on the field have a role to play.
Sometimes those less glamorous roles are the ones that make the biggest difference.
That's right.
Speaking of making a difference,
let's hear it.
Jeff Laporta of the Tidewater Drillers.
Oh, yeah.
He pitched all 11 innings in their 3-2 win over the Glory Days.
11 innings. Wow.
Giving up just 2 earned runs.
That's incredible.
And striking out 9 batters.
Must have ice in his veins.
Seriously.
To be able to stay focused and execute your pitches under that kind of pressure.
It's remarkable. It's the kind of performance that inspires your teammates.
It does. Makes them believe they can win any game.
Absolutely. Let's check in with the USVI Hurricanes and the St. Louis Patriots.
All right.
Remember they had a doubleheader that day?
Yeah.
And the Patriots won the second game as well?
Back-to-back 7-6.
Winning both games of a doubleheader. I know. It's a real test of a team's depth.
Yeah, you need contributions from everyone on your roster.
Especially your pitching staff.
Oh, for sure. It's also a test of mental toughness.
Absolutely. It's easy to let a loss in the first game affect your performance in the second game.
Yeah.
But the Patriots stayed focused.
Pulled out the sweep.
Now, let's talk about the Minnesota Bandits Red, who had another game that day.
Right.
This time, they beat the Long Island Patriots 13-5.
Wow. That's a huge turnaround from their earlier close win.
It is.
Their bats really woke up.
What adjustments did they make at the plate?
Right. Did they figure out the opposing pitcher?
Or did they just get lucky?
Who knows?
Whatever the reason, the Bandits Red are a team to watch in this tournament.
I agree.
Speaking of teams to watch,
let's hear it.
Let's take a look at the Orlando Brewers, who beat the Chicago Woodpeckers 8-4.
Seems like the Brewers have a knack for putting up runs.
I think you're right. They've got a potent offense.
They can score in bunches.
It'll be interesting to see how their pitching holds up against some of the tougher teams.
Yeah, good point.
Now let's revisit that incredible 14-0 shutout by the Albany Wiz.
Oh, man, that was amazing.
Over the White Bear Lake Bears.
It really was.
We talked about Barry Jackson's dominant pitching performance.
Yeah, historic.
It also takes a great defensive effort to shut out a team like that.
Oh, for sure.
You have to make all the routine plays, and then some.
That's right.
And the Wiz were clearly up to the task.
They were.
A shutout is a team effort.
It is.
It requires everyone to be on the same page.
Execute flawlessly.
Speaking of flawless execution, let's wrap up this segment with the Chicago Jacks' 9-7 win over the Midwest Pirates.
Another close one.
These Legends Division teams just love to keep us on the edge of our seats.
I know, I love it.
Steve Errol was the hero for the Jacks, going 4 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBIs.
4 for 5 with a home run. That's the kind of performance that wins ball games.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's clear that Errol is a dangerous hitter who can carry his team to victory.
Yeah, he is.
We've got one more batch of games to cover.
Okay.
And trust me, you won't want to miss them. Stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion.
I'm ready.
Of our deep dive into the Roy Hobbs World Series Legends Division action. We're back for the final stretch of our deep dive.
Right.
Into the Roy Hobbs World Series.
We'll do it.
Legends Division action.
Love it.
These last few games really capture the essence of this tournament.
Yeah. The passion, the camaraderie.
The pure love for the game.
Absolutely.
Let's kick things off with the TP Lumberjacks.
Okay.
And their 18-6
Whoa.
demolition of the Cuyahoga Indians.
18-6.
We didn't have specific player of the game info.
Right.
But with a score like that,
Yeah.
you know, someone was swinging for the fences.
Oh, yeah, for sure. A score like that suggests a relentless offensive attack.
Absolutely. Hitters driving the ball all over the field.
Turn the ballpark into their own personal home run derby.
It's incredible.
Really sends a message.
Now, let's go back to that second shutout of the day.
Okay.
The Albany Wiz blanked the White Bear Lake Bears 14-0. Again, no named player of the game.
Right.
But this is a perfect example of how a team win is truly a team effort.
It is. It's not always about individual stats.
Nope.
Sometimes it's about those small contributions, the heads-up plays, the moments of inspiration.
Absolutely.
That lift the entire team.
Baseball is a game of inches.
It is.
And every player on the field has the potential to make a difference.
100%.
And with that, folks, we've reached the end of our journey.
Wow.
Through the Roy Hobbs World Series.
What a ride.
Legends Division action from November 8th.
Sad to see it go.
We witnessed some truly amazing baseball today.
We did.
Nail-biting finishes.
Dominant pitching.
Explosive hitting.
Incredible defensive plays.
It's a testament to the enduring spirit of this game.
It is.
And the passion these players have for competing at the highest level.
100% agree.
It makes you wonder, based on what we've seen so far, which teams have what it takes to go all the way.
That's the question, isn't it?
It's still early in the tournament.
It is.
But some teams are definitely starting to separate themselves from the pack.
They are. We'll have to keep watching to see how it all unfolds.
Yeah.
But one thing's for sure, it's going to be an exciting ride.
So if you're lucky enough to be down in Fort Myers for the Roy Hobbs World Series,
Dogs.
Be sure to head over to PDC, the tournament headquarters.
Absolutely.
Grab a juicy burger from Johnny at the grill.
The best.
Browse the team shop.
Oh, yeah.
For some souvenirs.
Some swag.
And just soak in that electric atmosphere.
That's awesome.
And hey, don't forget to snap a photo with Meg.
Of course.
For our Roy Hobbs Dugout page on Facebook.
He's the best.
We love seeing all the smiling faces.
Yeah.
And sharing in the excitement of this amazing tournament.
It's amazing.
Until next time, keep your eyes on the diamond.
All right.
Your gloves oiled. And your spirits high.
I will.
This Roy Hobbs World Series is just getting started.
Can't wait.
Can't wait to see what happens next.
I know.
We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the action, so stay tuned.
Sounds great.
And until then, keep swinging for the fences.